What is up, Rad Potential YouTube, and welcome to today's epic, fun how-to video on how to repair some old broken vinyl dash. So, for those of you tuning in, this dash belongs in this race car right here. This is a 1984 Mazda RX-7. The dash is made of some lovely 36-year-old styrofoam and a nice vinyl covering. So, as you can see here, the major problem area. Somebody before me had cut the vinyl on the dash in order to mount a switch panel here. And I decided that I wanted to repair it back as close as I could to original. I don't have a lot of these dashes laying around. This dash is also in otherwise immaculate condition, despite the fact that it has a ton of overspray on it from people painting the car previously. So, the general gist, the 10-second rundown of what we're doing here. We removed the excess foam from underneath the dash. I then filled the spot on the dash with Great Stuff expanding foam you can buy it at Home Depot. Once you get your expanding foam filled in here, I also, when I chewed this out, I excavated underneath the vinyl. Civil engineering terms. So, by excavating underneath the vinyl, that allowed the expanding foam, By excavating underneath the vinyl, that allowed the expanding foam to spread underneath this. So you're going to get a little bit of this kind of raising up. You can see a little bit of the cracks there. May have a little bit of a hump that we'll have to carve out and fix, but we'll get to that whenever I start to cut this off. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to dice this off with a hacksaw, which is a really fine metal blade. Hopefully to not chew it up too bad. And then we will patch this up. This is what I've got for the patch system here. So, because this is a race car, fortunately, I do not need the entirety of the dash, and I had to cut some of the dash off over here and on that side in order to clear the roll cage, because in these cars you've got down tubes that go down and the dash isn't there. So, thinking ahead, I cut a section of the dash off, stripped the vinyl, and cut a piece that fits right here in order to go in that hole that a previous owner made. So this piece should go under the existing vinyl just barely at the back of it. I can trim that up, and then I'm going to use a simple two-part epoxy. So this like Loctite epoxy stuff, you can buy it. 2 tubes, you take the thing, squeeze it out, mix it up, etc. I'm going to use a simple 2-part epoxy to glue this down. Once this is glued down and in place, then comes the super satisfying, epic, fun, crazy part. And I'm going to take some Sim Vinyl Prep. Note the number there at the top. This stuff. And then lovely Sim 15063 Burgundy color coat. Both of these products are designed for vinyl and to be painted on vinyl. Now, this is going to be my first have at painting vinyl stuff, and hopefully it goes well, because a lot of my RX-7s, I generally like having red interiors. They have red interiors, so I could awesome to refinish the dashes in those. So we're going to test it out on the race car, cover up all this overspray with some fresh paint, and get this dash looking fresh. So, I'm going to go through the process. We'll recap whenever we get down to the end. Here comes me making science happen. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so you gotta get creative with how you hold your patch panels down. So I got some sockets on there. I'm gonna wait to glue this piece up until I've got that mid piece glued. Then I can trim this a little bit better. And same thing here, I can trim this a little bit better even though it pretty much fits. But I'll have to obviously let this dry. If I need to break through some of the epoxy, I can. Fold this down, reposition the dash so gravity holds it straight down for me, and then go from there. I didn't want to get all complicated with clamps and stuff, just do it in stages. Got a little bit of time. And then I'm planning on sanding the epoxy down so it's relatively smooth. But if you think about it, right, it's a race car, so it's not a 2-foot show car. We're talking like a 10-footer. The dash, like from right here, if the sockets weren't there, you wouldn't even be able to tell. So let's keep going. Alright, so we're back to me talking to you, and I have coated the entirety of the thing in this. It says on here to wipe it on in one direction, so not like the band, but the actual thing, so you just wipe the same direction across the surface. That's what I did, which you guys just saw. I didn't see anywhere on either of these cans that says I need to let the promoter, which is the clear stuff, the vinyl prep, dry before I paint on the color, or if I need to do it within like 10 minutes or whatever. So I doused this little section here with a little bit of the color while the adhesive stuff was still mildly glossy, we'll say, just to see how it reacted. It doesn't look like it did anything funky. I just didn't want to like paint the whole dash and be like, oh, you gotta wait for the vinyl prep to dry. So I'm gonna assume, just based off of the reaction here, that you're okay to paint over the shininess of the vinyl prep. Probably shouldn't have been touching that, but if the paint starts peeling here, you know why. Maybe some less conspicuous areas. But it seems that a majority of the vinyl prep stuff has left the building. It's supposed to like temporarily soften up the vinyl, which it kind of does. I don't know. I think I'm probably going to wait maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just because it doesn't say to do it within 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm probably going to go ahead and wait 5 or 10 minutes before I go ahead and spray the whole thing with paint, just to be sure. And I'll let you know how it turns out here. You're going to see me start painting this thing. What seconds for you, maybe 5 or 10 minutes for me. Doing some quick reading on the Sim stuff on the Sim website and what other people have done. They say for softer materials, so not plastic like this, right? Hard plastic, but for vinyl like this, it's best to do to put that vinyl prep on there. Doesn't matter if you spray it wet or dry. Some people say to let it dry, some people don't. Some people say to do like a light coat with that stuff on and then wait for it to flash, which is all of the shininess goes away, and then to spray your actual color coat. So I waited for a majority of it to dry. I say majority, pretty much all of it to dry. And then I just did a nice little light color flash coat. It's probably only been, I don't know, 7 minutes since I last saw you guys. So I didn't see anything weird happening over here where I had sprayed it on when it was initially wet. So I went ahead and just hazed the whole entire thing. We'll kind of let this flash up a little bit, and then we'll give it the nice color coat. So I would equate this, it kind of feels like, after you spray it, similar to a Plasti-Dip style material where it's more of like a rubberized coating versus an actual like paint that's going to harden and then crack like car paint. You know, this paint's hard, not flexible, whereas this paint needs to be able to move and give a little bit. So the patch, yes, you can still see it. However, imagine being like way over here, and once the glove box door is right in here and everything and all the other stuff's going on, that is way less noticeable than a giant gaping black hole. Winning. Alright guys, I hit on accident, I got this side a little thick, so I'm curious if this is going to have like a runner in it or not. I don't know, but I think coverage is looking pretty good for now. I'm worried a little bit about this area. It's in a shadow, I can't really see in there very well. I need to get my flashlight, but I'm going to let this flash up here over the next 10 to 15 minutes. I got some heat running, just kind of over it, maybe help cook it up. And man, this is looking good. I don't know how it looks on camera, but this is looking sick. And like, honestly, right here, you can't even really see the patch, you know? Man, this is gonna look like $1 million. So, to put into perspective, this is like OG red versus the new red. All the plastic panels will get painted as well. And here's a better comparison of dusty original glove box to new hotness painted dash. Glove box will get painted as well. So this is the first big piece to get painted on the schedule for tonight, and may go ahead and wipe up and mask off this glove box if it looks nice as well. Glove box lid. So, but that, no huge rush to get the glove box in, because I got to wait till I put the whole dash in anyway, so I can do that next week or something easy. While I'm working on the car, I'm inside the car and I've got the shop like really heated. This is just important because I need to start building the dash. These cars, the dash goes in fully assembled pretty much, so you got to put all the wiring and heater ducts and all that stuff on it, then put it in the car. So, man, this is coming out amazing. I'm stoked. Let's see how it looks in like 20 minutes. Alright guys, it's the morning before work. After we've done painted this, got it out here in the morning sun. Alright, so I think this came out super epic awesome, because one, I didn't have to go get another dash. Two, I didn't have to change my interior to black because the only other dash I have is black. And three, this will be perfect for the race car. It looks fantastic. I mean, honestly, if this dash was perfectly mint and didn't have my little patch job here, it would be brand new. I mean, you couldn't beat it. This color is sick. It brightens it up, matches almost perfectly to the original stuff, and I'm excited to build this dash out in the next video, get the glove box and stuff in, get the gauges, get the center console and stuff on it, and get it in the car. So with that, thank you guys very much for watching. If you're into restoring old stuff and fixing old junk, consider giving me a subscribe, and with that, keep it rad. Peace.